So you were a juggler. Let me ask you about the Libertarian candidate and why all Libertarians like you are perceived a little nuts.
Well, you know, the idea that you've got a country that has been giving more and more to the people. Ben Franklin has that quote that I won't get exactly right, but that P.J. O'Rourke quotes all the time. That you know, America will do okay till people learn they can vote themselves money. That's not the exact quote. He certainly said it much better. And I think we've got this whole thing where every program has grown so big that simply the idea that people should have more power themselves
that's not
comes
it.
off nutty.
No, that's not it.
That's not it.
Look at the guy.
Look at me. That could be your point.
You're a magician. You went to clown college.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Jeez. I mean, aren't there... Look, I believe in so much of what libertarians... That philosophy...
Did Harry Brown seem like a nut to you?
Don't remember Harry Brown.
Yeah, well, he died a couple years ago, but he ran 3 years in a row, and what I loved about him was, although he was absolutely as crazy as me, there was no hint of it. You know, he didn't have fingernail polish on, not a stupid beard. He wasn't like screaming into your face. He was nuts. And he ran, I guess it was, you know, 8 years ago would have been the last time.
See, here's the problem. I think libertarians are closest to the founding fathers that we have. That's what they were talking about.
That's all they're trying for.
Right. And it's brilliant stuff, and it's great, but good God in heaven, isn't there any libertarian out there that's...
Well, the problem is, and I forget who said this, it was a science fiction writer, who said to get everybody in the country libertarian, all you had to do was convince the dope people that the gun people were okay, and the gun people that the dope people were okay, and everyone was libertarian. Now, you know, I've never had a drink of alcohol or a puff of marijuana or any recreational drug in my life.
Of course, now you couldn't make it through clown college.
Exactly. And although I use guns in our show, I hate being around them. You know, my feeling about gun control is that everyone in the country should have a gun except me, because I hate to carry things.
Yeah.
You know, even a cell phone's a bit much for me.
Sure.
But if everybody else had a gun, you're okay, because the overwhelming majority of people are good. And so if they all have guns, the bad guys are outnumbered automatically. You know?
Right.
And I think that it's just very hard to get across to people that even if you aren't a dope smoker, having it legal is better. It'll save you money.
Yeah, but you know, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. Because I agree with you, but you would have to conquer something else. You wouldn't have to just convince the dope smokers that the gun guys are okay. You also then have to convince people who are trying to save the world to take a step over the body of the guy who is killing himself with drugs. You know what I mean? You have to be able to say, and again, to quote Franklin, to butcher Franklin, you have to allow people to fail.
Yeah.
And most people in America wouldn't do that.
Or you have to help them one-on-one, which is the part that's always forgotten. I have a good friend in Vegas, rich guy, philanthropist, does great stuff, and wants to be a libertarian, but he says to me, who's going to take care of the crack babies? And my answer is, you.
Right.
Not someone like you. The guy I'm talking to, it's actually you. You have the money to take care of the crack babies in Vegas. You're a philanthropist. You do it. And he goes, well, you know, other people wouldn't do it. I go, no, but you would.
But nobody does it because everybody looks in like the government should be taking care of this. No, the government shouldn't be taking it. I have never, ever felt charitable on April 15th.
No, it takes all the joy out of it. Remember that hero? I mean, why isn't she president now? She was about 10 years ago. There was a case where they tried, maybe it was less, tried to put in community service where you had to, in order to graduate from this high school, do X amount of community service. There was a straight A student who was volunteering for nursing home work like 10 times what they required in school, but would not put in for it because then it wouldn't be volunteer work.
That is, you know what, my daughter and
I said, why? Let's make her president right now. I mean, I know she's 15. Just make her president. Let her have 8 years. I'm fine with that.
She couldn't do worse than some of the clowns in Washington. No offense to clowns.
Be careful with the clown thing.
I know, I'm sorry.
You enjoy that so much too much. I should have done more research on you.
My
just
daughter...
a clown and a Mormon chatting. That's all we are. We both wear funny underwear, different reasons.
All right. Now listen, here's the thing. My daughter and I were having a conversation about this very thing, that charity is dead in America for a lot of, for a big part of the reason is because you now have to do it to get into college. It's no longer do you do it because you want to.
Although even as cynical as you want to be about that, even with the taxes and the government taking over so of that, Americans are still charitable and helpful.
As individuals.
It's all the people that say, we've got to take care of these people. Those people are the ones you can just say, you're going to do it, and I'll help you. We'll all take care of it.
More with Penn Jillette in just